All right. Welcome, everyone. We are so excited. We are back to Digital Rube Goldberg Machine Contest. I had so much fun last year seeing what the kids came up with. I cannot wait to see what happens this year. So we are going to jump right in. I'm actually going to let you see everybody kind of full size for a few moments as we get going here. We have a phenomenal team with us this year. Again, so excited. Gerald, why don't you start and take it away, introduce NASEF, and then you can introduce each person here.
Sure, be glad to do so. Welcome, everyone, and thank you to everyone who's on this stream. This is truly the A-team for everything around Digital Rube Goldberg, and everyone will introduce themselves. I'll just give you a little background. Last year was our first opportunity in COVID to go ahead and help Jennifer and the Rube Goldberg group figure out how we can be able to present their wonderful work in a digital frame and format. It was hugely successful around the world, thanks to Eric, Cathy, and others. And it's an opportunity to give kids an opportunity to play, learn, experience all in this digital world, doing something that is just truly outstanding, which is figure out how to build a Rube Goldberg machine based upon what Rube's vision was for kids to enjoy learning. And part of what we are going to do this year, different than last year, we focused on 6 simple machines. This time, in line with Rube's interests and NASEF's interest, we're going to focus on engineering design thinking, design principles, etc. So this is the opening salvo, as they might say, the introduction to the launch of what Rube Goldberg 2021-22 is all about. So with that, I will stop my talking. Turn it over to everyone else, and Claire, take it away.
Sure. I think the perfect next person to introduce is Jennifer George. Jennifer, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you. This is, again, probably the most exciting thing that happened last year, and probably the most exciting thing that's happening this year, other than our live competitions where we actually build in the analog world. So, you know, there were so many amazing machines that we saw last year, and it kind of mind-blowing doing these chain reaction machines, really thinking about gravity and simple machines and everyday objects and how to put them all together in a narrative and with humor. So my grandfather, I run the Rube Goldberg Institute for Innovation and Creativity. I am Rube's granddaughter, so I kind of run the whole shebang. And our whole kind of notion is that everyone who participates in these kind of ridiculously fun events and learning how to think outside the box, these are the problem solvers of tomorrow. So Minecraft is not sort of my forte. Rube Goldberg is, and we will talk a little bit more about that later in this webcast. But I turn this over now to Eric, who will turn it over to Cathy, and they will talk about how they were able to really bring Rube into this digital new domain.
It's always a tag team with Cathy and I, so yes. We're used to that part. I do need to reintroduce myself. I was looking at the videos from last year and the amazing competition and realized, we were in pandemic. I was shaving my head myself and cutting my own hair. And now that I actually have a real haircut again, I have to reintroduce myself. We don't know you. Right. Like, who's the stranger with the good hair? When before it was just the bald guy. So they're not plugs. They just grew back.
And you have pomade.
That's right. That's right. So I am Eric Leitner. I am a STEM and computer science instructional facilitator with Broward County Public Schools. I am also a global Minecraft mentor with Minecraft Education, and about a million other titles that I'm not going to get into because that's just how education works nowadays. But I absolutely adored doing this competition last time. This was the highlight of my year without a doubt, and I loved every minute of it. And I got to spend time with some of my absolute favorite people the whole time, which is going to lead me right to Cathy. And while I grew hair, Cathy grew ears. So Cathy,
yes, I upgraded my headphones. I'm really excited about that now. So now I have my gaming headphones. So I'm Cathy Chow Isaacs. Thank you so much, Eric. I have to just, I just want to repeat everything he said. Like Eric introduces himself before me, and then I'm like, oh, I have nothing to say. So anyway, I'm Cathy Chow Isaacs. I'm also a global Minecraft mentor. Oh my goodness, what do? I do a lot of things, and so I guess maybe to put a label on it, I'm a professional learning specialist, which means that I've spent a lot of time working with teachers and teaching them how to use Minecraft in the classroom. And my most recent experience for myself was I got to teach a semester of game design and development at I don't know, at our family, let's say, because my husband taught there, I taught there at our district middle school and high school. So that was really exciting. And I'm excited to be back for another year of Rube Goldberg because this was so, so much fun. You know, seeing what the kids produce and also kind of like playing ourselves, right? So yay.
That's what it's all about for you, Cathy. I know. You come up with these elaborate events for kids so that you can play.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just, my name's Claire LeBeau. I'm the Director of Communications at NASEF. And Jennifer, I just want to give you a chance to tell us a little bit about Rube Goldberg, because you said you're his granddaughter, but Rube Goldberg is a phenomenon. I recently was talking to a conference organizer and she said, wait, you have his granddaughter working with you? That's amazing. So she was doing backflips. She was so excited. So tell us a little bit about Rube Goldberg, who he was, and what is a Rube Goldberg machine?
Well, so I was, I see and remember my grandfather through the prism of a child. I was quite young when I was hanging out with him. Life was kind of fun. He taught me how to make paper balloons. He taught me how to draw. He taught me how to play croquet figures, right? Get something through, a hole. But how I came into this position quite accidentally because my father started the Rube Goldberg organization almost 35 years ago. He always wanted to get me involved. I was very reluctant. I didn't want to get, tussle with him about how to go forward. And then when he died, everything just fell into my lap. And that's when I really began to dream and first I had to dig in, understand who he was outside of being my grandfather. Most people think he actually built these machines. He never did. He was a cartoonist, a Pulitzer Prize winning cartoonist. Of the almost 50,000 cartoons he drew, that's an estimate of the output of his life's work. Only a very small slice of that pie was actually the invention cartoons that he's known for. He started something called the National Cartoon Society, the NCS. When you win an award for cartooning, you win a Reuben Award, named after Rube. When he was in his later years, he was quite upset that he hadn't won a Reuben Award. My father was enlisted to go talk Rube out of this, quest. And, he kept saying, it's named after you, Dad. What more do you want? He goes, I want a Reuben Award. So I actually have the Reuben Award in the other room. One day, maybe I'll bring it and we'll look at it on the podcast. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we are here to, the zeitgeist of what Rube left. He was drawing kind of obviously inventions, contraptions that were quite useful: an automatic garage door opener, a simple machine to wash your dishes. I mean, he was drawing these machines 100 years ago when these things did not exist. And he said he was inspired by human problems. And then he would overcomplicate them in a very, very inefficient and hilarious way to get a laugh out of you. He really, in theory, they'd work because he was trained as an engineer, but they really were to shine a light in how most of the time in trying to solve a simple problem, we will overcomplicate our lives.
Oh, yes.
So, and so that's why in these competitions, and as I said, we've been running these competitions ever since my father started this 34 years ago. We always pick a single task that every machine has to complete. And this year, the task for our our actual building competition, where you get to build these working machines, not in Minecraft, but in the real world, is to open a book. This task, which I'm not going to announce it quite yet, what we're doing for this year. I'm going to wait till the end, but it relates to that competition task. And we always have a minimum and a maximum amount of steps. And Rube designed these machines in the format of actual patent applications. So if you have a real invention that you want to submit, you're going to have to do a diagram of it and a description, obviously not with Professor Lucifer Gorgonzola Butts as the inventor of said machine, but you're going to have to outline it in the same way that Rube did. So, how we have transitioned, and this was such an amazing program last year because, everyone was learning virtually. Teams could not get together in person to do these builds. And so Minecraft was such a marvelous solution to how we could bring this kind of creative problem solving to kids all around the world through this event. So I think that's it.
Yeah. And I think, you know what, there's something good that came out of COVID because boy, lockdown was hard, right? But speaking of creativity, we got creative, and that's how this phenomenal competition came to the digital world. And we love that we had entrants from all around the world, and we're looking for that again this year. Super excited to see where we get entrants from. So you mentioned what makes a good Rube Goldberg machine. It sounds like very complicated and also very fun. So I love that. I'm all about the fun element.
Highly inefficient.
Oh, highly inefficient. Okay.
Of it. Or as I think Jimmy Kimmel called it, a delightful waste of time and energy.
Good description.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. All right. So it is time to introduce the theme for this year's Rube Goldberg Minecraft. I feel like we need a little drum roll or something.
I think it says that in one of the slides.
It does.
Okay,
It does.
Oh, that's so funny. It's such a thing, right? We need a drum roll. Too bad I'm in this room. My son has actual drums in the other room.
You want to pull them in real
All
quick?
right.
Wait, no.
I'll be back in a few minutes with the drums. All right, so drum roll, please. Eric and Cathy, you want to go ahead and announce what is this year's theme?
If you want to pull up the slide deck, we will.
Right.
We've got it there, so we're gonna jump right into it. So this is our big build, and we're gonna build up to it a little bit. So we're gonna build up to it just a touch.
Just a touch.
Because we want to talk about how we're gonna get there. Right. That's the goal here. So we are announcing our big build, but as Gerald had mentioned earlier, our focus this year throughout our streams, in our preseason challenges and so on, is going to really focus on the engineering design process. And we're going to be coming back to all of this information a lot. So don't worry if you don't catch it right now. Of course, just like last year, we will share these slides out and things like that, and share any of the information that we're sharing out so that you have access to it. If you're an educator and you're watching and you're planning to do this with your students, you will have access to this. If you are a student and you are doing this with your team of students and you know Minecraft better than your teachers do, which you definitely do. Then you'll have access to what you need. So we're going to make all of that available. But this is the engineering design process, and these are 5 basic steps. You may find other versions of this online, but these are the 5 basic steps of it, which are to ask, imagine, plan, create, and improve. And I said them in that order, but they don't always necessarily happen in that order. We'll talk about that. Right. And so we're going to dig a little bit into all of these. And today our focus is going to be on the ask, figuring out what our problems are, what our constraints are, and what it is we need to do. And the imagine, brainstorming our ideas and coming up with the ideas that we want to follow through with. And that, of course, will lead us in future streams to things like planning and determining what our system and our Rube Goldberg machine is going to be, what it's going to look like, and what steps we're going to take throughout it. Creating it, which is actually building it out and testing it and seeing what happens. And then, of course, improving on that. And, of course, repeating those steps when necessary. And I'm going to say the word iterate out loud because I know who's watching. Mr. Isaacs, I know you're in the chat.
Favorite word.
And I had to say it out loud.
I don't even know where he is.
That's right. That's right. We do have some look fors, which is what do we look for in a really great Rube Goldberg machine? And we're going to focus these kind of specifically on what makes a great Minecraft Rube Goldberg machine throughout the course of our streams. So Cathy, I'm going to let you take on some of the look fors here.
Okay, perfect. So you're going to have to,
I got you.
Okay. I knew you always got me. I don't know why I even said that. You got me. All right. So of course, the thing that we're looking for is like your first impression or our first impression. How are you going to wow us? I mean, we've seen so many submissions. We saw so many submissions last year where it was like we jumped in. Oh, we didn't get to jump into the world. I'm like, that's how wow it was. Like you felt like through watching the video that it was like, oh my gosh, what a machine. And you knew that right from the start. So is it interesting from the get-go? Is it eye-catching? And what kind of wow factor does it have, right? So then we want to see, if you followed the theme, like, or if you had a theme that like some kind of underlying story that you took us on throughout your Rube Goldberg. So how did you style your build? Was it like, oh yeah, today we have the circus animals over here, and then we have a picnic? Like, are your builds related? Do you tell a story throughout? Like, does it have an overall style throughout the whole thing? Are your peeps, are your players, are they in costumes, specialized outfits? Do you have special props throughout? And then does your theme match the task, right? So last year we had to
put sprinkles on a cake.
Right, thank you. I'm like, see, this is what you had to do. You had to pour sprinkles on the cake, and we had some really, really awesome. I mean, it's the birthday. Really, really great things happening. And this should be master of the obvious. We shouldn't have to be guessing what your theme is. It should be the case. We should be able to tell right from the start. Okay, and like I said before, so we're looking for presentation. A great Rube Goldberg machine tells an awesome story. Like the favorites, and you can probably see them somewhere. You might even see them at some point on the preseason streams. But they were favorites. We just watched them recently. We're like, oh my gosh, remember this? This is so great. So yeah, you're telling a story with your Rube Goldberg machine, and that is through through the items in the machine, and also through your walkthrough. Like you're telling us what's happening. Okay, not like, oh, this is a piston and this is how it works. Just tell us what's happening and what's your story. Does your team, do we see any of your personality inside of this Rube Goldberg? Are you funny? Let me tell you, we love funny. Oh, and I think I'm going to say that again. We love funny. So just keep that in mind. And then, are we excited to see more of your machine as we're watching through it? So your presentation is really important.
I'm going to add that some of the funniest ones, it felt like there had been a script written, and we had people go into character with specific voices for the characters in the Minecraft video.
No one is ever going to forget the chef.
No one. If you are watching.
That's right. And if you're not sure what we're talking about, you can go to some of last year's live streams or any presentations where we shared out some of our favorites, and you will definitely see that one. And who knows, it may come up again because
it may come up again.
It just may.
Oh, and then we have these items in Minecraft. Like, how creatively are you using them inside of your machine, right? So a block is not just a block, it could be something else. So how are you doing that? Are you, like I said, are you going beyond your intended use? So we had someone last year using a tripwire as a floss. That's actually, you can see that in the picture right there. And what are you doing to stylize your build? So using wool to create pixel art. Oh, I love that. That's like one of my favorite things to do. But I like obsidian. All right. And then, are these chain reactions? Rube Goldberg is made up of transfer of energy from one thing to the next. How are these chain reactions really interesting and unique? I mean, are we really getting to see what's happening? Sometimes we've seen some Rube Goldbergs where it's like, wow, what just happened? We don't even know. We can't tell. And just like let us see, and anticipation, like what's gonna happen next? Like keep us intrigued, right?
Mhm.
Keep us like curious. And then, I guess too, I have seen a lot. I guess there are a lot of roller coasters. A lot of roller coasters.
A lot of
because
roller coasters.
that's an inclined plane, right? That's the best. Well, it's a good example of an inclined plane. There tend to be a lot of them, right? So, how could you use variety in showing an inclined plane or one of the other simple machines? And then where's the suspense? Like, are we wondering what's going to happen next? Like, why do they have these objects lined up like this or arranged here? What's going to happen next? So yes.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah, and
still trying to
also-
figure out, which one? The one that, I don't know, they were like pushing sheets of ice off the top, and they were breaking or something. It looked like, I don't
I
know.
think that was the end of the picnic run on top of the cake.
That one.
That's how they did their sprinkles. It was very
Alright.
cool.
That was
Yeah.
exciting.
But yeah, also I would add to this one, we got a few entries, and it doesn't mean that they didn't put in the work and they weren't great builds. But a true Rube Goldberg machine means that once we hit start or do the first action to make that machine start, we don't interact with it at all. We just watch what happens. It should create its own sort of perpetual chain reactions, meaning it shouldn't be me riding a roller coaster, then getting off the roller coaster and then making the next thing happen. These things, once the machine starts, it should be running on its own. So each chain reaction should just happen step by step by step, with no more interaction from the player, aside from being the cameraman or being along for the ride, I guess, which is totally acceptable because we want to see what's happening.
Yes, we do. And then that's another interesting thing, right? Like, you're working with your team and someone is the camera person and someone is talking, and I don't know, it's not always the same person. And even if it is, that's crazy. That's great an accomplishment as well. I know that's
absolutely.
too much for me. All right. What else are we? Oh,
There it
there
is.
is
The
the
The key
chef.
piece. Yep.
There
That's
it
what it's
There
about.
is the chef. So yes, humor. We love laughing during these while we're watching the videos, and you can make us laugh. We're just going to sit here and watch your video over and over again. Oh, and Eric is going to show us some humor.
Well, I don't have audio on here, unfortunately.
So maybe you have to do the voiceover.
Oh, do I have to actually do the voice? Are you
Now,
going to
that's
make me
humor,
do the
Cathy.
voice?
Now, that'll make us all laugh.
Oh.
We want to
All
hear
right.
it.
All right, let's see if we go to the video. Yeah, we want to go there. So this is where he goes, "Hello, I am the chef." And as you can see, I am cutting the meat with a knife.
With the knife, which is a
Oh,
wedge.
yeah.
I can't even keep doing it. The
Can't.
student does such a better job of the voice than I do.
But I love to. Okay, so that is the observer, right? So
Okay.
this kid
Mhm.
used an observer for the face because there's a face right on it.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Or why
So-
wouldn't we have a chef with a big long giraffe neck?
Right,
You know?
right. And that would
Why not?
count as unique and interesting uses of blocks.
Absolutely.
That's like a beaker chef. And then surprise, right? We, in addition to laughing our heads off, we love being surprised. So is there a twist? Are we going through these roller coasters, riding the minecart, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, we're in the guts of some animal.
We saw
So-
that too.
We did. And oh my goodness, what else? There was the Jerry the llama, startled and delighted us.
We went inside an alligator's intestines.
Hmm.
That was fun. It was a
Loved
good
that
thing.
one.
Good thing we didn't get wet.
And there was also one that was rather extraordinary that told the entire kind of year's worth of events.
That one was so
Mhm.
good.
And it went through COVID and a whole host of other things that happened on sort of a global scale. I mean, we had almost 1,000 submissions from, I think, 13 plus countries. It was rather incredible.
Really, really was.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And surprise also comes with unique ways of making interactions in the game happen that there are so many times we watched the videos last time where when Cathy was talking about wanting to jump into the world, I wanted to jump into the world because I wanted to know how they did that. How did they
Right.
even make that chain reaction right there happen? Right? Because it was way beyond what I knew how to do, or at least with that particular item. And all of a sudden I'm like, no, I need to learn how to do that. I have no idea how they did it.
It's very funny. From my perspective, I look at you, Eric, and Cathy as the experts in this field. And literally, I mean, you both were flummoxed. Awful. And that is what is so exciting to see. You know, there's so many different ways to utilize this, this Minecraft experience.
I think our expertise comes with making opportunities happen in classrooms and for students, and by encouraging teachers to make or facilitate those opportunities. But it'll always be the students who are the experts when it comes to truly building in the Minecraft world. We don't hold the candle.
Right. Oh no. And I wouldn't ever claim that either. I mean, I've seen kids, yeah, they can do things that are just incredible. What I would like to see is maybe in addition to the Flipgrid, like, oh, if you feel like it, drop your world in here so we can take a look at the back end.
That's right.
It's totally selfish.
But worth it.
But yes, but worth it. I mean, I love when we can see what's happening on the other side. Oh, and oh my goodness. Okay, so here's another important thing. So your construction and artistry, right? So how well is your machine designed around your elements? So you're allowed to choose the kind of world that you want to start in. So you could start in a flat world, you could start in a regular world, you could choose a biome, right? So, you know, and then what do you build around to kind of continue to tell your story? You know, does it match your theme? And yeah, how beautiful is it? How beautiful does it integrate with your environment and the landscape that you have going on there? So
yeah.
I feel like I keep referring to the same one because maybe that was one of my very, very favorites. The going through the alligator guts was part of a camp experience, and there were all these I mean, just so wonderful. I mean, all these camp. I mean, I never attended a camp or went away to sleepaway camp, but all of these, you know, experiences that you would have in camp were included in this world, which I thought was amazing too.
Yeah,
oh, I can't wait.
I know. Me too. There was one that comes to my mind, which was where the events of the machine took place across a kitchen counter. I don't know if you remember that one.
Oh, I do.
And it was just so beautifully built that you were like, you didn't. It's that moment where, especially in Minecraft, where you don't have to wonder what you're looking at, because sometimes in Minecraft it's hard to make things look the way they do in the real world because of the nature of Minecraft. But it was so just perfectly put together that you knew exactly what you were looking at with every component that they had put in there.
Right, and I feel like that was a creator that had a really great voice as well, right? The voiceover.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. All right, I love great voices. Okay.
And then this is going to be a big one this year.
Yeah. So teamwork, right? It's maybe the hardest part about building a Rube Goldberg machine because there's a lot of things that you have to work out together. So, you know, we want to know, how did you and your teammates work together? Were you respectful of each other? Was everyone involved? And issues arise. They always do. It doesn't matter how besties you are, they're going to arise. And were you able to resolve them well, you know? So teamwork makes a dream work, right?
Always and forever. And again, going through that engineering design process, a lot of those components are going to basically facilitate how teamwork is implemented in your build. It'll help guide that process.
Ooh, oh, right. And again, so creativity, we had mentioned this before, you know, use those elements, use all those elements. There's so much available to you in Minecraft. So, you know, when is that? What was it? Is a tripwire? When is a tripwire not a tripwire? When it's a faucet in the Minecraft, right? What's the other thing? I think the trapdoors, you know, so I've seen people use them as chairs and stuff. So don't just use the same thing, use lots of different items and, you know, oh my goodness, just go crazy. You know, and we want to see how well you integrate different items that you wouldn't necessarily put together any other time. That's one of the beautiful things about Minecraft is a pumpkin is not always a pumpkin, and I say that because that's what I see on the inventory, on the everything tory. And
That's
then I guess too we have a big build guide somewhere. So yep, and you can just kind of see all of these guidelines kind of in there as well.
Okay. So here's
Now
your
the
drum roll
roll.
moment, Claire. Here's your drum.
I
But I'm going
should
to point
have gone
something
and gotten
out.
them.
I'm going to point something out, but only after we make the announcement, because I'm going to see who our really perceptive viewers have been this whole time.
Exactly.
So I'm not the only one who was
Right,
thinking
right.
it.
That as
I'm
well.
not the only one who was thinking
Well,
it. So
you know, it depends on like, does everybody see us on the side there?
mhm,
Yes.
Oh, they
Uh-huh.
do. Okay, okay.
Yes.
I guess if you have a really big screen
maybe if you're
Is-
watching
is-
this on your big
On your
big
TV.
OLED TV in
Like-
your living room, then yeah. You
If
might
you're on a
notice.
phone, it might be a little harder.
right,
That's
right. All
All
right.
right, so
here
drum
we
roll.
go.
Give me the drum roll. Give me the drum roll. And here we go.
This year,
Ah,
are you going to say it or am I going to say it?
should we say it on the count of 3?
Wait,
One.
okay, yeah.
It's already on the screen.
I know. 1,
All right.
2. This is pretty. We're going to open
and illuminate
a
a
book. Oh, we're so good at that.
Oh, we're amazing. And if you were
Teamwork.
really attentive and you looked at our logo right here, it has been there the whole time. The
Kind of
whole
like
time.
Dorothy
Right there.
and the ruby slippers, right?
That's right.
Mhm.
You had the power all along. And
Ah!
so yeah, that's the challenge this year. And again, all that means is that the final culminating activity of your machine should result in this happening. How you make this happen, what it looks like to you, where it happens in the world, how you design it, all of that is up to you. But the excitement of a Rube Goldberg machine is how do we get from the start of the machine to here, right?
Mhm.
How are we getting there? And what journey are you taking us on through this series of chain reactions that are going to eventually lead to some version, your version of this?
And what book are we opening?
That's a great question.
That
Ooh.
book may hopefully inform the theme of your machine. So, and there are many books to choose
Oh.
as we know.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if Dune's going to be a popular one this year.
I don't know. It could be. That would be a
Right,
cool.
but there are so many properties based on books, right? That it's or maybe you're reading a book in your classroom right now, or you've got a book that you've been in love with since you were a child. That could easily inform your theme right there, right? Like
historical book. It could be a cooking book.
ooh,
It could be Harry Potter.
Oh, so many possibilities.
absolutely, it's endless.
Bible. We don't know, but I assume we're going to see a lot of that.
Mm-hmm. I think
I
so.
can't wait. It's going to be so great.
Me too. So excited.
So let's
All
talk about how we get there. So there are some basics that do need to be included in the machine build. And we talked about these last year. So if this is your first year competing, and I'm going to show you in a little while, when we go to the NASEF website, all of the videos that we made informing or explaining how simple machines work in Minecraft or how we can represent them, because my Minecraft players who are watching right now, they know not all of these things are in Minecraft. There are no pulleys in Minecraft. There are no wheels in Minecraft, at least not functional ones. And there are rail cars that, yeah, you could say there are wheels under there somewhere, but you don't see them. Everything is kind of, boxes, and boxes don't make great wheels. Blocks don't make great wheels. There are some of these things that exist, like levers, but is the lever that's in the game the only way to represent the lever? How do we represent a screw? And all of those videos where we talked about that, where we shared those ideas, and even in the following videos where we showed off how some of the students did it in their preseason challenges, are there to see. So if you don't know what we're talking about when you see these, the simple machines, the information is there. You can go find it. 10 transitions or transfers of energy. That means that there should be 10 unique steps in getting from the start of the machine to the final culminating opening of the book and illuminating the book. So for example, maybe we start with, maybe it is a rail car, right? We said roller coasters, but maybe a rail car rolls down a line and knocks into some TNT, and that TNT explodes. Okay, well, that's one transition, right? We've gone from rail car to exploding TNT. And maybe that TNT, sets off whatever's going to happen next. That would be our next transition, and so on. And so we should see 10 transfers of energy, 10 changes that take place from step 1 to step 10 or more. There's no limit on how many steps. 10 is the minimum, right? So we have to end, of course, by solving the simple problem. And in this case, that simple problem is to open and illuminate a book. And there is a minimum and a maximum on time. We want our machines to run for at least a minute. We want to be able to see what's going on. So hopefully we can see a minute of things happening on screen, but with a maximum of 5 minutes. So that all has to be part of that planning step when you get into your engineering design process. How do we plan to ensure, and then of course, how do we improve if it doesn't happen, to ensure we fit within this time frame of a 1 minute minimum or 5 minute maximum for the runtime of our machine. Oh, and the link was shared in the Twitch chat if you're watching on Twitch. So if you're looking for where to find some of those videos, that link is there, but we're going to go to there in a little while as well. All right.
Yep.
Let's go into some specifications. Cathy, you want to take the specs?
Sure, I will. So as we've been saying, the objective of your Rube Goldberg machine is to open and illuminate a book. So you must accomplish this. Must. That should be all caps. Must. You have no choice. Okay. And then the version of Minecraft that you'll be using is Minecraft Education Edition. Okay, like we said before, you can start in either a flat, infinite, old, or biome world. Okay. Oh, and actually, I guess you might be, well, we'll talk about this. The minimum, you must have a minimum of 4 simple machines, and you can use any choice of those 6. The minimum number of transfers or steps that you have to have are 10. But there is no maximum. However, you want to think about the runtime. Your video runtime is got to be a max of 5 minutes. So, if you have too many, then you might miss that. We also would like to know about your machine, right? So when you submit your video, you should tell us about it. And you should chat about it for no longer than 2 minutes. We did see a lot of videos last year where the creators did not talk about the machine at all. They just kind of submitted the run, and it was like, oh, okay. So unfortunately, it could have been a really awesome machine, but it did not meet the qualifications to be to kind of be put in a winner's pool. Okay. And then you are not permitted. Oh, I'm sorry. Runtime length is a 1 minute minimum, 5 minutes max. And you're not allowed to use mods or texture packs in these builds.
Right. We're trying to keep the playing field level for all. And while some users are very advanced or even create their own mods and texture packs, and I've seen students do that to great success, incredible things. We really do want to keep the playing field level for all competitors, meaning that everyone is using the same items, the same texture packs, the same everything. And that's what you've got to work with, which is makes it a bit more of a challenge for some of us. And that's okay. That's part of the game. It's supposed to be a challenge. I want to go back real quick to License Edition, says Minecraft Education Edition. We probably have some viewers who are saying, but I don't have Minecraft Education Edition.
I was going to mention that.
So Claire, what if they don't have Minecraft Education Edition?
Aren't we all glad that we have NASEF running this program? If you do not have Minecraft Education Edition, it will be provided for you. And you know what the cost is?
$20,000.
0.
Oh, that's much better.
This,
what?
Yes, completely
$0.
Free. Yes, $0. And that is available because, like we said at the beginning, we want to make sure everybody can participate in this. And we'll walk through the registration process in a little bit, and you'll be able to see exactly where you check the box. And that's all that you need to do to get the Education Edition free.
That's it.
So that's awesome. And then what that means too is that you can participate on a PC, you can participate on a Mac, you can participate on the iPad and even Chromebooks. So yay.
Absolutely. And I know everyone loves free, but nobody loves free more than educators. Free is a teacher's best friend. So we're happy.
I will also say we are free for the live competition as well. So,
ooh, awesome.
That's right.
Oh, it's good to hear.
And then you might be reading this slide.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you might be reading it said because there was an all caps in the title. Yes, there will be prizes. So we're going to have 3 preseason challenges. And for each of the challenges, there will be some prizing. So not surprising. Maybe you are surprised by the fact that we have prizes, but there will be a $175 Amazon gift card to the winning team, which is insane.
That's
That is
crazy.
insane. It's crazy.
The opposite of free.
Right.
The opposite
Yeah,
of
both.
free.
You
We
can
are
enter for
paying
free
some of
and
you to
win
play
money.
Minecraft.
Right,
This is
right.
awesome.
Some of you are getting paid to play the game. That's
Right.
crazy.
So the way that that's going to work in the preseason is that there will be 5 winners from each preseason challenge. Okay. And I just mentioned that there will be 3 of them, and they will be chosen at random from qualifying entries. Okay. So qualifying means that you met all of the requirements to count as a qualifying entry. So, you submitted whatever it was that you submitted, had no narrative in the beginning, had no, you didn't tell us anything, you didn't talk through the video. That goes in the not in the winner bucket.
Right. So you have to meet all of the qualifications and answer any of the questions that are provided to go into that sort of winners pool. And then perhaps your team name will be drawn from the virtual hat.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps. And then, so that's the prizing for preseason. And then as we get further along, we're going to have more prizing announced for the big build. Okay.
Definitely.
And you should check nasef.org for updates.
Absolutely. There are some deadlines, right? So let's talk deadlines real quick. And we're going to talk about how to register and everything in just a little while. But rosters and registration closes Wednesday, March 2nd, 2022. So you got time to get your team in order. But if you plan on participating in the preseason challenges, you don't want to wait that long. You want to get on that right now. That's how you're going to enter, get those chances to win those Amazon gift cards that we're giving out for the 3 preseason challenges. And there's a lot of them. So you got a good chance of getting one. So that is Wednesday, March 2nd is when all registration must be in for the big build portion of the competition. And the final submission, this is when you submit to us your videos and everything else of your big build, of your actual finished, complete. We've been working on it for months, Rube Goldberg machine in Minecraft. And that is Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. So we're not going back in time. It's next year. I'm going to go with 8 p.m. because that's where I live.
All right. And Eric, I'm just going to jump in here too, because you were just talking about the preseason and those Amazon $175 gift cards that are up for grabs. That first challenge is due November 12th. So we just want to make sure that everyone's aware we have that series of preseason challenges, and those dates are coming up quickly. So don't think like, oh, I've got 6 months, I'm going to kick back and tackle this, because that first one is coming up pretty quickly here.
Oh, it is.
That's exactly it.
So you have to register in order to.
Let's take a look at how to register. Is that where we're at?
I believe so.
You believe so?
I believe so.
I believe you.
I believe. Oh, but you're not watching my show.
That's
I believe.
Right. Oh no, I watched. I know exactly which. I'm going to tap the sign.
You tap the sign.
That's right. All right. So you are going to go to nasef.org/learning/Rube-Goldberg. If you don't remember all of that, you can literally just go to nasef.org. Go over to learning at the top and come on down to Digital Rube Goldberg Machine Minecraft Contest. And that takes us to this page right here. I think those links were dropped into some of the stream chats as well. And this is where you will find out more information. You'll also see a big bright blue registration button right here. That's just calling your name. But also, this is where you'll find information on our live streams. You're in our first one right now. So if you're watching right now, you already know how to find us. If you're watching a recording of this, this is when our next ones are coming up. You'll be able to find all of that information here. You'll find all the information on awards for all of the parts of the competition, information for educators on how to register your team, how to subscribe to our channels, the education standards.
Oh, and there's the guide.
And of course, the guide, which Cathy did mention earlier. And there's where you will find the guide with all of the information. But we want to learn how to register. So I'm going to click on the big registration button because this is where you're going to go. You'll find some information on who is eligible to register, and it's most of you, don't worry. And then you're going to register. Now, if you don't have a login with nasef.org, if you don't have a NASEF login, you can click register and you can create one right now. And again, that's for your mostly for the teachers to handle, or for whoever your adult sponsor is of your club to create your team. If you already have one, and I already have one, so I'm going to log in with mine, and I will log in. And if I'm logged in, it is going to ask some information about me as an adult sponsor. Don't worry, that's not my home phone number. But this is where I can create my teams. So perhaps I have a team called, and I use the same ones every year to sample this, the BCPS team, test team.
Oh, they're the test team. They're the best team.
Test
Oh,
team
change
is
it
the
to
best team. Test team is the best team. And we're going to choose our category. Are they competing in the 8 to 13 category? The
Which
13
is
to
junior.
18, right? That's our junior. This is our senior. It's our 13 to 18. That's our high school students mostly. And then there's the at home, which is all ages, which means if you've got a younger brother or an older sister or whomever at home and you're 9 and they are 17, but you want to play together on a team, there is a category for you. You can play at home together as a team, no problem. And you're competing in your own category. Team members must be at least 8 years of age. Hence, that's why it starts here with this category. So be mindful of that. And here is where we would add students. So we can add a student. I'm going to add tester face because he's on team test. That's right. Right. He's 9, so old enough, and then the right grade. And he goes to test elementary. And here's where, if you don't have a license for Minecraft Education, right here it says Minecraft Education Edition, I am requesting 1 license. So if that student on your team, and again, this is your adult sponsor who's organizing this and setting it all up for you, if they know you need a license, they're going to click the box, right? And then they can add
they get
another
it for
student.
how much? They get it for?
It was not $20,000.
No,
No,
they get it for free.
175. 175.
Right. We like
that's
free.
the winning.
Oh,
Yeah,
Right.
that's even better.
And if you are the kind of educator that wants to learn along with them or needs to present to them or wants to be in the shared world with them, to share the experience with them or to help manage the team, you can even click right down here and say, I need a license for myself as an adult sponsor of this team as well.
oh my gosh. How awesome is that?
That is the best stuff right there. We love free. So this is how you would set up your team. You do need to make sure you click the acknowledgement that you as a sponsor have already gotten permission from all the parents. If you, as a teacher, I've been a classroom teacher for many years in the past, and I know how important this is, you need to make sure you have some documentation of that. NASEF is awesome. And this very last sentence here, if you need a permission slip to hold on to for your club, your team, whatever, you can click right there and download one. They have drafted one for you. And you can modify that one if necessary. And you've got a copy of one ready to go that you can hold on to. So you've got a copy of permission slips should you need it. And of course, once you have all those, you can click the acknowledgement and submit. Now, I'm not going to submit because I don't think tester face is actually competing. This is how you register your team.
You would skew the data if you did that.
I would, right? I would skew the data. We don't want to do that. All right. So how now do we participate in and I'm going to just kind of go back here to the NASEF website. How do we participate in the first challenge, which launched right now? So what is that first challenge? And if we've got some time towards the rest of our stream, which I believe we do, Cathy and I are going to walk through it a little bit. So if we scroll down on this page, you can see submit your preseason challenge number 1 to Flipgrid below. If you participated last year, you know how Flipgrid works. If not, I'm going to model that real quick before we go. But this is where you'll find the challenge. You can log in with any Microsoft or Google account. So I'm going to go ahead and join with my Microsoft account, and it'll just kind of usually automate me right through this process. And I'm successfully in. And then you'll see the challenge. And it's right here embedded on the page. You don't have to go anywhere else. And challenge 1 is the Ask and Imagine challenge. We said we were going to be talking about the steps of the engineering design process. And today we're focusing on these 2 steps, ask and imagine, which is how we kind of start this whole process. So ask and imagine are 2 very important steps of the engineering design process. Your task is to share with us how you engaged in these 2 steps with your team. What questions did you ask? What strategies did you use to brainstorm as a group? And how did you ensure that every voice on your team was heard and respected? Record and share in your Minecraft world. Submit your video by November 12th, 2021. That is later next week or so, right? Or is it 2 weeks away?
Next Friday.
Next Friday. Thank you. This is why I keep you around, Cathy. Other reasons too, but mostly it's the calendar.
It's calendar.
For a chance to win that $175 Amazon gift card. That's right. And right here is our button where we can add a response. So I'm going to stop there for a second. And Cathy, are you ready to jump into the Minecraft world for just a few minutes?
I am.
I feel like if we did a whole stream and we didn't look at the Minecraft world, we would lose our minds.
Let's play.
So Cathy and I are in a Minecraft world, and it came to my attention. And Cathy, where are you? You're in
I'm here. I'm in the sky. I'm in the sky.
You're in the sky. I'm going to go stand on here.
Okay,
that
I'm with you.
Right in the library of Minecraft Education is a really great build challenge that is designed a cover of a book. So sure enough, here's a book that's already in the Minecraft world. Now, maybe we don't keep it this way. Or maybe we just look at this so we know how we want to build a book, because we need ideas of how to build a book. But there's one here already. So we figured, what a great place to start our brainstorming, right? On this giant book. So what I figure we'll do, Cathy, since we're going to do this in-game, and look, our goal here is to play some Minecraft. Do you want to join me down on the grass here?
Wait, where are you?
I'm right here. I'm jumping up and down. Okay.
I got excited there.
How about we use one of the features of Minecraft Education Edition to do exactly what we need to do, which is ask questions and brainstorm. And that is the board. I love the boards because
that's the board?
Like a chalkboard. It's like a chalkboard, and we can write on it. This only exists in Minecraft Education Edition. It does not exist in the other editions of the game. So that's why I love it. And I did unlock it so you can write on it. Are you writing?
I'm not writing yet. I'm looking at it because I'm like, is this
Cathy's
really
still
the
in
board?
awe.
I know. I'm just like, it seems a little smaller than the last time. Okay, so ask. Ask is, I'm writing ask, and I'm going to say, what are we going to build?
That's right. So that's the first thing, of course, we have to ask ourselves. But there's lots of questions that we want to sit here and we want to kind of think to ourselves, what do we need to ask ourselves to build what we're being challenged to build, right? So you already asked the first question is, what are we going to build? So we know we need to end with illuminate a book, right? And we've got a book behind us.
Open.
We also need to open
and illuminate. I'll do it. Whoops. Oops.
No, that's
can
perfect.
You see me typing?
I can.
Yes.
I'm iterating.
All of your typos. All of them.
Open and illuminate a book. Yeah. Okay. Open and illuminate.
I have another question. Now, keep in mind, right now, all we're doing is asking questions and then taking those questions and brainstorming. We're not finalizing any ideas right now. That's our plan section. We're not there yet. We don't want to get to plan until we've kind of spilled all the ideas out of our head. And you know what? I want to make sure everyone on this call, because look, there's 5 of you here, has a chance to kind of engage with this. This is not just Cathy and I. We got y'all here. So here's my question, right? One of the things I know we need to come up with, Cathy, is a theme. Mm-hmm. We need a theme. So what are some good ideas for a theme? We even talked about this a little bit since it was a book. There are some really ways to kind of just automatically have a great theme. Like Jen mentioned a cookbook. Like I hadn't even considered cookbook.
Well, and you could set a cookbook in a kitchen, or you could go from, a field where you are sourcing the food and bringing it back to the kitchen, and somehow or other it makes its way into a Cuisinart type object, and you're pouring into something, and then you have to open the cookbook, but you can't read it because you're an old lady like me, and you need your glasses. Illuminate.
So you're giving kids some homework here because 1, if they can build a Cuisinart in Minecraft, that's amazing. And 2, if they know what a Cuisinart is, that's even more amazing.
Oh gosh, a blender.
I love that Cathy came up with Hello Kitty. Of course she did.
Of course you did. I was going to say it if you didn't. So of course.
Well, okay, but wait, are we in the ask or are we in the brainstorm or the imagine?
That's a good question.
I guess we're going back and forth.
Right now we're just right. So we asked a question. We asked, what does our theme need to be? And now we're doing a little bit of brainstorming. So we're actually going back and forth between those two. And when we looked at that design cycle that showed those 5 steps, there was no arrow pointing in one direction because you can go back and forth between those steps as needed, right? So we asked, what are we going to build? We know we need to open and illuminate a book. We went back to ask, what is our theme going to be? And now we're brainstorming our themes. I'm surprised you didn't write down one for me already.
I know. Wait, I didn't.
Oh, I know what that is.
I mean, if you don't write it down.
It's what I sent you a picture
If
of
you
when I
don't
was
write
there.
it down.
There you go.
Wait,
Thank
are
you.
right? I mean,
Yes.
Love
All
it.
right, so we've got Star Wars and The Mandalorian on there. I'm good. I feel confident in all of this. What if we just made a Hello Kitty Mandalorian? We just put the helmet on Hello Kitty.
we could do that. I have
We can
some
make
pictures.
Now that would be humorous.
Can
That's
I?
right. We need the humor. And also, is there any real look? We're talking about books. Can we tell our own story?
Sure, you can make your
Ooh.
own.
Oh.
Really?
Oh.
Okay, maybe we
How
can
about
tell our own
sports?
story.
I like sports.
Ooh, sports is a good one.
Sports. Oh, I don't know.
But it could be a biography
Mm.
or biology. I saw biology going
I
there.
know.
I'm cool with a biology textbook also, for the record, especially when we talked about alligator guts. So
Yes.
I'm not so sure about the alligator guts, to be honest. And I did not want those at my sleepover camps either, Cathy.
you clearly didn't grow up in Florida.
I did not grow up in Florida.
Just me, where
Nevada.
alligators
It's
just
as
came with
dry as
camping.
can
It was
be.
just part of the
There's no
territory.
alligators.
Okay. So we've got some really good theme ideas. I think we do. So Cathy, I think what we need to maybe dig into a little bit, since we're doing a very short, very, very short brainstorm, keep in mind, our students can take all the time they need to brainstorm, right?
Mhm.
We're trying to do this on a live stream. We've got maybe 4 more minutes to do some brainstorming here.
If you're interested, I mean, I would put astronomy on there,
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
no, that's a solid one.
and I would.
Can that go back to Star Wars though?
Yeah.
I have another question to ask
Mhm.
too. Where are you going to open your book?
Ooh.
Where are
Ooh,
you?
Where?
Location.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I'm opening my astronomy book, I might be on some very high point looking at the stars, or I might be on Mars.
Right?
Could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Or I could be in some Star Wars location.
Don't make me start naming Star Wars planets. We'll be here all night.
You could be in a library.
Ooh, yeah.
Be in a school. You could be
Library's a good one.
play.
What a great theme that would be.
Yeah.
Or you could be in the Matrix.
You could be in the Matrix.
Ooh.
That would be interesting.
Maybe we already are in the Matrix. No.
I mean, you could also be in the back lot of a Hollywood studio.
Ooh, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Be going from one soundstage to another, and you could see all the scripts that are going on, and you end up finally at some script supervisor's desk, and you open Star Wars and you green light it.
You know what I love? I love that everyone here is having an opportunity and a chance to just toss out ideas, and they're all going on the board. They're all going on the board, right? There's no bad ideas right now. This is how brainstorming works, and we're
Mhm.
respecting all these ideas that are coming to the table.
Oh, and the more the better.
The more the better,
Mhm.
yeah, because this is how we're going to really fine tune exactly what it is we all as a team want to do. So that's phenomenal. So Cathy, one of the other things I think we might need to brainstorm,
Uh-huh.
and I know we're doing this the short version, is what elements do we want to see in our build, right? So for example, are we going to create chains of sticky pistons? Are we going to implement any target blocks with arrows or
yes,
tridents
that's what I
launching
want.
at those? Yes.
Sticky piston, chains, targets and arrows. Whoops, targets.
Targets.
Target.
Yes, that's a Star Wars word. That's how you get away with any of it. When you mess up or it's a typo, be like, no, that's a thing in Star Wars. It's fine. Yeah.
Targets and arrows. I want to do a tripwire because I've never done that.
Tripwires are fun ones, especially when you connect them to some firework launch. Some
Ooh.
dispensers with fireworks.
I don't know. Well, I guess
Yes.
too, what's worth mentioning is
Yeah.
that with this new version of Minecraft, right? It
1.17,
just was
yeah.
upgraded this week. So if you have been using Minecraft Education Edition at school, at home, wherever, make sure you check your version on the bottom right side of that opening screen because there's an update and there's something really cool now that you can do with structure blocks. And there's other cool things, of course. But maybe we'll do that.
Maybe that's how we open our book.
Maybe. Okay, cool. So structure
Super
blocks.
cool.
Yeah, take a look at that. I want to
You-
try to do some things that I'm not good at.
I remember you saying you wanted to do something with the mobs chasing each other.
Oh yeah. Mobs chasing each other because like
Yeah.
I guess that's I don't know. Like some mobs chase other mobs, and you can build like I don't know pathways for them to run away from each other, and mobs chasing each other.
You know, I
Kind of
love that you
funny.
said you want to try something you're not very good at, because part of
Mhm.
making this successful is going through this brainstorming. We don't have to worry if we know how to do this yet. It's helping guide us, and we're thinking about, okay, what do I got to look up how to do that? I got to go figure out how to do that. I got to play in my world until I make that work somehow. There was something that I saw in one of the builds from the submissions last time, which was the llamas swinging from the leads and triggering the next one swinging and
Oh,
the next
yeah.
one swinging. And I was like, how exactly did that work? And I thought it was really cool. Like, it was one of the things where I go, I would put that in one of my future builds. I have no idea how to do it, but I'm ready to go look it up.
Well, and those llamas swinging, they were also, it was like suspenseful. It's like that pirate ship ride because you didn't know how far the llama was going to go and if it was going to make it to the next section, right?
And is that an example of something that you want a submission, a Flipgrid video to say? We didn't know how to do this and we figured it out, right?
Mhm.
That's sort of the detail that you're looking for in the submissions too, is what was your process through this?
Exactly.
We're getting along pretty well so far.
Doing awesome.
I also think there's a bit of reverse engineering in the narrative. Like, why do we need to turn on the light?
I'm going to visualize that for us.
Why do
And
we?
I like that.
Because
So one of the things, so you mentioned, what are we going to use for light? And I want to keep coming back to all the new things that are in 1.17. So light blocks were in there before, but they have improved them and made them so much easier. And if you don't know what a light block is, we'll use them in the next couple streams, especially for this. But a light block is literally just a place where you can put a source of light. And the more I right click on it, the more it illuminates that area. Ooh.
can you program the light blocks in Education Edition?
Kind of. But what's really cool is once you take them out of your hand, it's just the light that stays,
Oh, yeah.
not the object.
Light blocks.
And now we're in this cool, glowy nighttime. It's pretty.
Very pretty.
Wait,
Light
is it?
blocks, sea lantern. Yeah, sea
I'm like,
lantern's
is
one
it
of my
sea
favorite.
glass?
Sea lantern.
Oh, and those
Or-
sensors, right? The light, the sensors.
Yeah, there's the redstone lamp.
Oh, we have
What
so
else we
many
got?
things that we could use.
There's
mean-
the other lanterns. I forget, are they just called lanterns? The ones that are like the hanging ones that you can put on the wall?
I
that are
think
like the
they're
old
just called
school-y-
lanterns.
Yes, and you know what else was added in 1.17?
Oh,
Candles.
no way. Oh,
Candles
candles.
were
Wait, what else?
added.
What are those? Oh, they
And there's
are.
there's a
What
fruit
are
now
those?
that's
Look
from
at
the
me.
cave. Yeah.
I'm
Oh wait, is the candle
motioning
not in
what
here
that
yet?
thing
Maybe the
is.
candle is not in this release.
All right,
It was.
shh. We
We're
take it
doing
back.
charades now.
No, I know. I'm like, what is that thing?
How
I
about a
used them a lot
campfire?
last year. What's it
Campfire.
called? Oh, see, now I have to. I'm out of the board. Hold on, I gotta look for it.
I think you got to be
Um,
careful illuminating your book with a campfire.
Right?
Yeah, you
Maybe
do.
we'll move
Oh,
it
will
over
it
here.
burn? It depends. It depends.
Yeah.
on
Right.
Fahrenheit 451, huh?
Hey, that's a book we could theme it after.
Yeah.
One of my favorite high school reads.
What book? I missed it.
Fahrenheit 451. Since we were
Oh.
talking about books
Oh,
and
that
fire.
is a good
And
book.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, it's a bar. This thing is a bar.
That's right.
It looks, but no. I'm looking for this
Oh.
light source. You know what I'm talking about? It looks
I
like
know
a
exactly what you're talking.
lightsaber, but it's
Uh-huh.
not. Oh, sea pickles. Are they lit up?
Sea pickles?
I don't know.
They
They're
do.
just
They light up
because-
underwater.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Huh.
right. Gerald's like, where did you come up with that? If I were sharing my screen, which I don't want to,
By the way, the thing you are thinking of,
looks like a lightsaber. Sea
yes,
pickle.
it
Okay,
is the
so
end rod. The end rod.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you add that to the board? So my question, the reason I'm asking, do sea pickles light up, is because in the inventory, usually it seems like things
You
that are.
have to unlock the board for me, Kathy.
Oh, I do. All right. Nope.
You're being
Nope.
very teacher right now.
I
You won't hand me
will.
the-
No, it's you know what? It's the default settings. It's default. I blame that.
Yeah, okay.
So the sea pickle is so these items in the everything Tori, they're kind of they're grouped together, right? So similar things are together. So the sea pickle shows up between a torch and a lantern. So those both light up
Mhm.
which is what made me wonder if the sea pickle does. So I'm gonna grab.
Yeah, I didn't
some sea
see
pickle.
candles in there, so I wonder if they're coming in a future update. I know they were kind of piecing things out, so they're not quite there yet. And
What
there are a
about
few other things I
lava?
noticed weren't quite there yet. Oh, lava! Oh, thank you for setting me on. Oh, I walked on the campfire. I thought you set me on fire with lava.
No, no,
Lava
no.
does give off
Oh,
light, though.
blaze rods, blaze
Mhm.
powder. Wait, will those get us in trouble?
We could go on forever.
I know.
But this is awesome. This was like a really good, very short, admittedly, but very good asking and brainstorming session. We
Yep.
asked, what are we going to build? What's our theme going to be? Where should we open our book? What elements do we want in our build? What are we going to use for light? These are awesome questions to ask.
All right, I'm
And then
going
we
to
actually came up with like whole lists of answers. Are we done brainstorming? No way. We're not done brainstorming.
That's half the fun that the kids will go through, is to go through all this. And they can
That's
take it as
right.
long as they need and want.
Exactly. So this is a lot of fun. So now let's say we've done our brainstorming. We've got some ideas in our world. We may have even started building some of these to demonstrate them, right? Like I put some light blocks down. Maybe as we're brainstorming, we're throwing some of these things into our world just so we can show our friends or our teammates, hey, look, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean when I say we can use NROD, or this is what I mean when I say structure blocks and how we could use them to open our book. All of those can be done during the brainstorming session just to demonstrate, to create models of what we might put in our plan.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have time to do all of that in our session, but hopefully you do. But now we're ready to submit, right? We've got it. We're good. We're going to submit this. So we're going to go back to the NASEF website. We're back and we're in the Flipgrid and we're ready to add a response. Now, I'm going to have to do something a little weird, and that is I'm going to have to stop my camera over here in the live stream so that I can share my camera in Flipgrid, because it won't let me do both at the same time. So I'm going to vanish for a second. Pay no attention to the not man behind the not curtain.
Who is that?
Right?
Who is that person? I can't see.
And hopefully that will allow me to use the camera. We'll see what happens. It doesn't always work right, but we'll see what happens. So if I click add a response, is it gonna it's gonna let me use the camera. So I'm in the Flipgrid camera right now. So I'm literally, look at me, I'm on the NASEF website. I'm famous. But this is where I can record my submission. Now, what's really great about Flipgrid is if you don't have the tools on your computer to capture your screen, any of those screen capturing tools to record what's happening in Minecraft, you can use Flipgrid right here on the website to do it. So if you look down below, there's a big record button. But right now, all I'd be doing is recording my face and my green screen and me. But if I go to options over here on the left, one of the options is record screen. So I can literally choose record screen. I can choose my camera, my microphone, and then I can click start screen recording. I'm going to choose screen 1 because that's where I do have Minecraft behind what I'm showing you right now. I'm going to click share. It's giving me a 3, 2, 1. I'm going to go back to Minecraft. And now, right now, it's recording everything that I'm saying and everything that we're seeing. Cathy has been building weird stuff around me while I was talking.
Around you? No.
That's right.
I just, okay, so I'm in here. See the little grass block structure. I just picked up whatever the easiest
I don't know if it's recording you, though.
Oh, I just wanted to see the sea pickle, if it worked in the dark.
Okay.
So
you're testing ideas. You're testing ideas.
So,
That's awesome.
Now I'm flooding things. Hold on.
But in my recording, I'm going to talk about how the team brainstormed. I would love to hear from all of the members of the team, because that really would demonstrate how you were brainstorming as a team, who came up with what ideas you all sort of liked together or had in common, what questions you all came up with, because I guarantee there are questions we didn't ask ourselves that we probably need to, but we're just not at that point yet. So, right, this is where we would have that conversation as part of our submission. We want to see how and what you brainstormed, and we want to hear you tell us about it, right? And we also want to know how you made sure it was equitable. Did everyone have a chance to share their ideas? What ideas was shared by who? Was it a positive experience? We want to know that. And of course, we want to know, how the whole process went for you. This is your ask and imagine. Those 2 steps of the engineering design process is what we are talking about. How did we do it? So we just did that. We modeled it a little bit for you. I'm going to hit escape here, and I'm going to stop sharing, and we're going to go back to Flipgrid. And I've got my recording right here. Now I can hear the audio. I can't share screen audio on the stream right now. But my audio is there. There's even a little button here to add music if you wanted to add some of those effects. I'm going to click next. We're going to submit this video just as is, but you can crop it. You can add additional footage. If you're like, wait, we forgot to talk about this. Let's hit that record button again and add just a little bit more to our recording. You can do that. We're going to hit next. And you're going to see a submit. Now you're going to notice it's going to provide your name right here where it says submit your video. What we need you to do, and this is very important, is in your description right here where it says optional, this is where you're going to put your team name. So we are Test Team, the best team.
Test Team.
Okay. And we're going to submit. Now, I can either choose a frame of my video down here to be my main picture. We can do a selfie. We can upload a photo. So especially if you've got like an esports team logo for your team or your club, upload that photo right here. And that's what we'll see, which is really cool. Or even a name tag where you can basically model how you want that to look. But I'm going to back from that one.
Ooh, and can we also say, just try not to use your whole name.
That's right. It should default to just your name and your initial. Keep it that way. Try not to use your whole name.
But I mean, if you add a name tag, don't put your whole name on it.
That's right. And we're going to submit. Now, keep in mind, I've got my video. I'm ready to go. I'm going to submit. So I'm going to submit, and you're going to see this upload. Do not leave here until you see this completed. We've had people say, oh, I submitted my video, and we didn't get anything. And mostly it's because you didn't do this part. You didn't let this run its course. And,
So
if whatever you got to do to pass the time, right? Sing the Jeopardy song.
This is patient.
I was just getting ready to do that.
Or the theme to Star Wars, Eric.
I had to do the chef voice. I feel like one of you has to do this one. I can turn my cam back on the stream now, which is also a thing I can do now. I'm done with that part. The theme to Star Wars also works. Fun fact, the Imperial March, one of the themes to Star Trek is Star Trek. Wow. Oh, never mind.
Oh my goodness. So you're waiting for the fireworks.
Pause the stream, rewind, delete that out. No, I'm sorry. But one of the Imperial March from Star Wars is the perfectly paced theme to do CPR to. Oh. And when you take a CPR course, they tell you to do the Imperial March in your head.
Wow.
That's and notice it says success. I am done. Now, if I want to, I can get the link to this. So if I want to share it with my friends or my teacher or my classmates, I can share that link, or my family. I can download a copy of the video for myself. I can download a QR code to scan so people on their phones can just grab it. I can grab all of that now. Now, if I don't grab that now, I can't do it later. So if you want to save this video, you have to do it before you hit done.
Yes.
I'm going to hit done, and I want you to notice something. It says 0 responses right now. And you're like, wait, but we just watched you submit a response. And the answer for that is this topic is moderated. All responses and comments will be hidden unless approved. And we're not approving any of them until the challenge is over, because we don't want you copying off each other. Mostly because you're going to be the one to submit awesome stuff, and you don't want the other people to copy your stuff.
Tricky.
That's right. So that is how you submit for challenge 1. That is due November 12th. Yeah. That is according to Cathy, next Friday.
Next Friday.
And just remember, there's directions on the website for everything. So if you get lost or don't know what to do, see this video, recording, and also look at the website.
Exactly right.
Oh, and just again, below the Flipgrid, those are the.
That's right. We talked about earlier all of the Simple Machine live streams and video live streams, and even the challenge finals from last year and the announcements of the winners. All of that is here. So if you need to go back and watch any of the instructional videos from last year, this is where you'll find them. You'll see me with less hair. But, it has grown in nicely.
But still having a great time.
That's right.
Well, this has been so exciting. Thank you so much. We cannot wait to see what kind of books you create, where you are when you're creating them, what you're going to use to illuminate them. I mean, there are so many possibilities here. And don't forget that this is a Rube Goldberg machine. So it's going to be really fun and really complicated, overly complicated to accomplish that simple task. We will be back shortly. We have another live stream in a couple of weeks, and we're looking forward to seeing everyone here for that one. And in the meantime, make sure that you get those set those submissions together for the first challenge and send those in. And any last thoughts on that, Eric or Cathy?
Well, register. Make sure that your adult sponsor registers you. You can't just submit something, because that's the other thing. If we find your video, if you have a video there and there's no sponsor, you go in the other bucket.
That's right.
Right. Right. And the other
Yes.
bucket is not where we draw for the $175 Amazon
No,
card.
the other bucket
wanna
is
be
called New Team Who Dis.
Yeah.
We
You
need to know who
didn't
you are.
follow directions bucket.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah. So you can register at the NASEF website. And we're always here. If you have any questions that you need answered or you have a hard time with the process, just email us info@nasef.org and we will get back to you. Cannot wait to see all of you again in a couple of weeks here, and can't wait to see what everyone comes up with between now and then.
So true. Very exciting.
Yep.
And good luck.
Exciting.
Keep laughing.
Never a problem. We'll all keep laughing.
No,
Good
we'll
luck
just
and
keep
have
watching the chef video. We'll laugh nonstop.
fun.
That's
Very
All
good.
right.
All right.